When asked who my biggest inspiration in life would be, that would not be a hard question for me to answer at all. Without a doubt, I would have to say that would be Mrs. Berry. I met Mrs. Berry 6 years ago when she became my Ag Foundations teacher as a freshman in high school. She quickly introduced me to the FFA and what agriculture education meant as a whole. I was shy and I didn't really know where I wanted to go in life and what my plans were for the future. My family comes from a 6th-generation farming background, but I still had no idea truly what the agriculture realm had to do with. Agriculture education is now one of the most important things to me and has a long, long history that most people don't really understand. In 1917, the Smith-Hughes Act was passed, which introduced agriculture education to the high school and middle school programs in the United States. In 1920, 31,000 kids were already enrolled in agriculture classes. Agriculture classes had a big impact back then because many students were not going to college and were just going into the agriculture field. Agriculture education gave these students a little bit more education going into their future careers. By 1940, just 23 years after being founded, there were already 584,000 students enrolled in agriculture education classes. That was a huge leap from where it was just 23 years before that. Over those 23 years, agriculture education had a huge impact in all of those students' lives and continued to grow at a rapid speed. In today's world, there's over 8,200 agriculture education programs in middle schools and high schools across this nation. There are currently 825,000 students enrolled in a single agriculture classroom nationwide. There are also over 12,000 agriculture teachers teaching all of these different programs. In 1928, 13 farm boys formed the FFA. The FFA used to stand for the Future Farmers of America, and now stands for just the National FFA organization because the FFA has become more than sows and plows. It is now an organization that teaches everyone what agriculture is and what true leadership can become. There are over 600,000 members in the FFA to date now. Agriculture education has been formed around a 3-step model. The 3 steps would be classroom, which has to do with everything that you learn in an agriculture classroom, SAE, which can do with anything raising an animal outside of school, raising a plant for your county fair, doing anything mechanical wise, or starting your own business. And the last step in the 3 model process would be FFA, which teaches you leadership experience. This can be from being a local chapter officer or going up to the national level and being a national officer. You do many different leadership activities in FFA, which helps everyone get outside their comfort zone. Most people don't realize that the median agriculture education teacher salary is $78,370. That's nearly $20,000 more every year than the normal teacher. Agriculture education teachers are on an 11-month contract instead of a 9-month contract like most teachers. When asked why this is, ag teachers describe the job as an all-day, everyday job. It's not the regular teaching. You go home, you teach your students, and then you go home and grade their papers. It's weekends, going to county fairs, traveling across the nation to national conventions, competing with your students, practicing, running alumni meetings, meeting with parents, and doing whatever it takes to encourage your students. The shortages began quickly after ag education began. The shortages began exactly in 1921, where there was more ag education students than there was teachers to teach them. And today, there are nearly 23% of our agriculture teachers have been teaching for fewer than 5 years. That means that there's not enough teachers going into the agriculture education profession, and most teachers are retiring now. This job isn't a job that most people stay in because it requires extra hours and a lot more dedication than a normal teaching job. There are many different ways to promote ag education. Ag education is important because it teaches students the realm of agriculture. Agriculture is going to affect everyone 3 times a day in many different ways. Everyone has to eat, everyone has to wear clothes, everyone's going to need to see a doctor at some point. Agriculture affects all of those things. When I went into high school, I didn't really understand what a GMO was, how antibiotics affected people, how different growth hormones were being portrayed in the media. Through agriculture education, I learned that many of these different things affect our farmers, and I was not aware of all the problems that our farmers and other agriculture pursuits are facing in the media right now. Agriculture education helps to inform everyone what a huge impact agriculture has on our communities. The National Teach Ag organization does many different things to promote many other people becoming ag teachers. Every year there's a National Teach Ag Day, which happens to be today on September 22nd. There are over 1,700 scholarships that have been given to ag education students that are going to go into the field. Today, when asked, 90% of ag teachers said that they went into this career because of their ag teachers in high school or middle school. I would have to say that my reasoning would be no different. I'm going into the career because I want to give back to my students like my teachers gave to me. Through agriculture education, I learned how important the agriculture industry is and what we need to do to support it. Without ag teachers, our future generations will not understand this importance and understand what it takes to feed the world. That's becoming a huge task in life.